4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to HVAC Success Secrets Revealed, a show where we interview industry leaders and disruptors, revealing the success secrets to create and unleash the ultimate HVAC business. Now your hosts, Dyess and Evan.
Hey, welcome back to another HVAC Success Secrets Revealed with Dyess and Evan. I am alone here in New Orleans, Louisiana, hanging out at the ServiceTitan Marketing Summit and happened to grab Katy Waters. Katy is the marketing director at Dyess Air and Plumbing. They've got 3 locations in Georgia, South Carolina, and...
Yep, that's it. Georgia, South Carolina. We have 2 in South Carolina and 1 in Georgia.
There we go. Okay, perfect. And you are working out of the Claxton location. Yeah, super excited to be here. Curious, 1, what got you into the trades? How did you get attracted to it? And then 2, what brought you to the marketing summit?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I'm really enjoying New Orleans. So this is a plus, a nice little travel perk. So really and truly, if we're being honest with one another, I never was super interested in the trades. Like, I didn't realize the importance of them and the real need for them. My background is in retail, so I sold high-end bridal and high-end prom. I managed that industry for probably 10 years. This job is just one of those that kind of I lucked up on. I knew someone who knew someone.
Right.
So I started working with Dyess in 2018. Prior to my position there was not a marketing manager. So I think that's pretty common in the trades is the owners and other top management, they wear several different hats, and one of those hats is marketing.
Right.
So when I started in January of 2018, I had no clue what I was doing whatsoever. I'd never marketed for the trades. I had no clue what all was involved. But jump forward to now, I absolutely love it. I really get into it, and I am just, again, ecstatic to be here.
That's so cool. What was it about working with Dyess that really, I guess, attracted you to it the most? Like, what was it about their office, their location, their culture that has helped you to stick around for now 8 years?
Yeah, so the owner really invests in his people. He really invests in the company. I'm super lucky. I have a really nice personal office, but we also have really nice physical office locations.
Yeah.
So that's something that not a lot of people can say, that they have this really nice, like, high-tech office that they get to go to. And then more importantly, I enjoy the people that I work with. So on my interview, on the first day of my interview, I went in and was just super impressed off the bat because of the way that the office appeared and the friendliness of the owner and everyone in there. And that's what attracted me the most.
I love it. Well, in our little pre-chat before we hopped on, you were telling me a little bit about what it is that you love most about the marketing side of things and what you're diving into now and how that's helping you to make decisions and manage 3 different locations with different cultures. Right, you've got a different marketplace with each area. Georgia's slightly different than South Carolina. You're still in the South, but it is different, and you want to be able to cater to that. So how is it that you're utilizing data to be able to make decisions and then work with the local markets?
Yeah, so one of the things that I really, truly enjoy looking at is our data that comes from ServiceTitan, but also I love using that to put together a strategy with our market share analysis that we get every couple of years. And you're right, our markets are completely different from office to office. And although our Bluffton office and our Hilton Head office are just a couple minutes apart from one another, those customers really differ.
Right.
So that's one of our biggest pain points is figuring out how to, create a strategy to market to each one of our customers accordingly.
Right.
So being able to look at the data that ServiceTitan provides for us compared with our market share analysis can give us a better insight on how to do that.
Got it. That makes sense. And you mentioned that you hated data before that.
Yeah.
You hated numbers. It wasn't your thing. What was it that got you into that? Why did you see that as a need and something that you needed to understand? And how did it transform into something that you love?
Yeah, so prior to my position here, numbers made my eyes cross 100%, and they still do on a long enough day, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But really and truly what got me more involved in the numbers and appreciating them more was knowing the why behind the why as to how they matter.
Right.
Before, in school, you took a math class and it
Mm-hmm.
was what it was, and
Mm-hmm.
you got an A or a B or whatever. And there was real no why behind it, like how those numbers applied to what it was that you were doing, right? Because everybody attends a class and says, oh, when am I going to use this in real life?
Right.
So fast forward to now, I'm using those strategies to put together, several different data sets every
Right.
day. And
Oh, that's so cool.
I enjoy looking at the numbers and seeing, the value in them.
Right. I love that. As an owner, it can be really difficult to understand what it is that's going on with your marketing, with the data, because there's so many different hats that they're wearing. They're trying to figure it out. Like you said before a company can bring on a marketing director, they're generally doing everything. They're trying to understand everything. What data is it that you're extracting that you feel is most important to an owner that you're passing along to them to help make those decisions on where to spend, how to spend, where we need to invest more, et cetera?
Yeah, sure. So the biggest thing for us is, and specifically with our owner and our locations, is you can look at profit and you can look at revenue and how that's showing up per office, so per our 3 offices.
Right.
And you can see the specific revenue and how many jobs you're doing, but for me as a marketer, it's really important to look at the market share and
Right.
say, okay, well, yeah, we have a low revenue here, but just because our revenue is low in this office or in this location, should we really market there?
Right.
So that's the biggest, I'm not going to call it a pain point because I'm talking about our owner here, but that's one of the biggest data sets that the owner and I kind of need to sit down and talk about and
Got it.
plan for.
Right.
Is the data that you're looking at now, you may think that it's bad in one area when really and truly it's not.
Right. They're just frustrated by that top end number, and now it's letting them know that, hey, the marketing's working. There's something else that's missing here.
Absolutely. Why put money into a funnel that's not going to make you any more profit or revenue?
Correct. No, it makes sense. I love that. What are the KPIs that you need to transfer over to the owner so that they can look at specific numbers?
So
What
really,
do they need to be better at understanding?
yeah. So again, that market share, the percentage of that you have is one of the KPIs that I look at.
And how do you calculate that?
So honestly, really and truly, thank you Excel and thank you Brand Media, which is one of our strategic partners that we use. So basically, we'll go into ServiceTitan, we'll pull the number of customers that we have, and then we'll pull the number of customers within our area that
Right.
are within our what we think is our ideal customer, and compare it to what the market actually is in comparison to our real customer.
Got it. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that other people are able to extrapolate that and figure it out for themselves too. So cool. So percentage of market share, what would be another KPI that they need to understand better?
So conversion rates are also really important. ROI, really and truly.
Right.
You want to make sure that's probably the biggest one that I look at, because we want to make sure that the money that we're investing, as I mentioned before, it's bringing in revenue.
Right. Well, and I loved what Marcia said, the first message that was on today, where she was talking about if your ROI or your return on ad spend is approaching north of 6x, then really doubling down, tripling down on the investment into it to see how much more of market share can you grab and bring that, you're going to bring that ROAS down the more that you're investing into it, but how much more market share can you grow as a result of it?
Right.
And I thought that was a really interesting idea and concept and thought.
Yeah, I really appreciated that topic that she brought up, only because in the beginning when I first started marketing, I tried to divvy in too much.
Right.
This one thing that we're doing is working great, but what else can we do, rather than focusing on what was really important and what was really bringing up those ROIs?
Right. No, it makes sense. If you were to give 3 channels that are underlooked or overlooked from marketing that you find are working well for you right now, what would those be? And maybe it's a principle versus a specific channel, but what are 3 things that are overlooked in marketing right now?
Yeah, so Direct mail. There's days and months when I hate it. There's days and months when I love it. I think it depends on the specific campaign that you're running and who you're targeting to. But I feel like one of the undervalued and overlooked vehicles of marketing is definitely social. I don't think that we use it enough, and like we have discussed so much today, it's more of an educational piece for our audience and for our customers, and you're not selling to them, but you're educating to and with them. You know, they are you and you are them. You know, you have to put yourself in the shoes and eyes of our customer. So I feel like social media really is the best way to do that.
I love that. Awesome. Well, to wrap things up, we got one final question for you. This is our token finishing question.
Okay.
What is one question that you wish people would ask you more, but they don't?
All right. I need you to be more specific. When you say people, are you talking about people within the trades, outside of the trades,
You
or
can
marketers?
take it any way you want.
Okay. All right. Let's see. You know what? I wish people would always ask if there's a big difference between trades marketing and regular retail marketing. And I know that marketers know that, but I don't think owners or, you know, general managers or someone who's not super involved in the marketing field knows the complexities behind the two different types of marketing.
Right. So is there a difference?
So, absolutely. And I didn't think that there was before I made the switch from, you know, high-end retail with bridal and prom to trades. I never really understood how difficult it was to market the trades.
Right.
And it's because we're, you know, the trades are, what's the word that I'm looking for? Not undesirable, but anyone can shop for the remarkable notebook, right? You want it, you go and buy it. It's not a grudge purchase.
No.
But when your toilet is tanked and it won't flush, or when your AC goes out, man, you're just in a bad mood already before you even call somebody. So that's the biggest difference between marketing for retail versus marketing trades. When you are marketing to that customer, you're marketing potentially to someone who's probably already a little upset, and not to mention the extra expense that they're going to be spending on a new AC system or a new plumbing system in comparison to a new, you know, couple $100 tablet.
100%.
So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's funny, there was a Facebook post maybe a month or two ago now. It was a marketing company that was talking about putting out or studying what big companies are doing on their website and how can you implement those ideas back on your website. And I pushed back on it and challenged that idea, because someone who is shopping for an iPhone and looking at Apple's website is in a completely different state of mind. And they're a completely different consumer, and how they buy and purchase and what they're even purchasing is a very different process than someone who is needing to get their air conditioner fixed.
Sure.
And so I understood the idea and the concept, but again, the fundamentals of how someone is shopping in those two different areas is completely different. Not to mention the demographics and the psychographics and all of that goes into it as well. So I think you're pretty bang on with that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. It's definitely two different worlds.
Yes.
So, and it's a world that's not focused on enough. So I'm very happy that there's companies like ServiceTitan and others that we work with who understand the need and, you know, who truly care about their customers, and they put out the information that service companies need to have more education on this topic.
Totally. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate it. If someone did want to reach out to you, where's the best place to do that?
Yeah, sure. So anyone can reach out to me via email is usually the best. I'm not the best person about answering my phone if you leave a voicemail, I'll call you back. But if you don't leave a voicemail, you probably won't hear from me. But you can reach out to me via email at k.waters@dyessair.com, and that's DYESSAIR.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We'll make sure we put that up when we put the recording on there so that people can see it. But
perfect.
Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the Marketing Summit. And until next time, cheers.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, that's a wrap on another episode of HVAC Success Secrets Revealed. Before you go, two quick things. First off, join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/HVAC Revealed. The other thing, if you took one tiny bit of information out of this show, no matter how big, no matter how small, all we ask is for you to introduce this to one person in your contacts list. That's it. That's all. One person. So they too can unleash the ultimate HVAC business. Until next time, cheers.